Welcome back. Imagine sitting down with your younger self. What do you think you would say? That is the premise of the new coming-of-age film, My Old Ass, where free-spirited Elliot meets her 39-year-old self during an 18th birthday mushroom trip. Watch this.
Hey, freak. Who are you? Elliot. Dude, I'm you.
You're me.
What's up?
I don't have a gap in my teeth.
Yeah, wear your retainer. Left boob, 1 cup smaller than the right.
Holy shit. I'm actually kind of hot for being middle-aged.
I'm 39 years old. That's not middle-aged.
Joining us today is the lead star of the film, Maisy Stella, and writer and director Megan Park. Welcome to the show.
So we've seen you on screen, but fans will remember you for playing Daphne Conrad on Nashville.
Whoa.
Look at that. This is actually so your first feature film. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
As we mentioned, you play young Elliot. So give us a little bit more background on the story.
I mean, yeah, I play baby Elliot. She is like 18. It's like her last summer at home. It's just like the summer. I feel like it's like the visual representation of when you like look at your mom and you're just like, I'm sorry, like you're just a girl and you're trying your best. And I don't know, it's just before all these epiphanies, and she does a mushroom trip for her 18th birthday and then conjures her future self and is given lots of advice, some advice that she's not super into, you know, doesn't fully listen to her advice, but yeah, it's basically that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I have to ask about the actual story. You came up with this story, and it feels like that's such a daunting task within that genre, because people take coming-of-age stories, you know, very seriously. They're very protective of them.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with this idea?
I don't know, really, but I was home in Canada. I'm from here, and I just had my daughter, and it was during the pandemic, and I was feeling super nostalgic, and I was sort of thinking, like, why did I ever want to leave here? Why was I in such a hurry, you know, to go off and do things? And just that sentiment made me want to kind of tap into this idea of, if I'd known it was going to be the last time I did A, B, or C, would I change it? Would I want to know? Would I not want to know? And really, the mushrooms was like kind of a silly but grounded for what all the things, you know, way into the story.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like a buy-in, like 13 going on 30 or Mrs. Doubtfire, where it's kind of this crazy idea, but we wanted it to feel really authentic. So it was that feeling of nostalgia that really made me want to write it.
Well, yeah, and it's so great. And it really does. It does make you think a lot about life and aging and time and all those things. But Maisy, like, you were a teenager, playing a teenager when you were making this film.
Yeah.
So, which never happens. Usually you're 30.
Usually way older. So would you say that you felt like kind of a connection between yourself and this character of young Elliot?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I always joke that like when I went to film, I like really thought I had it more figured out than Elliot. I was like, oh, Elliot's so naive. Like, I've already had all these epiphanies. I know not to take my family for granted, and I know that time moves fast. And I didn't know all of these things, and like I was so much more in Elliot's shoes than I thought I was.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the experience of making this movie, I feel like just softened me so much, and I learned so much just literally as a human. Like career aside, I feel like it really did so much for me as a person. But I was definitely in Elliot's shoes in a lot of ways and related to her in a million ways. Yeah.
Well, playing older Elliot in her shoes is Aubrey Plaza, the incredible actress. So Megan, how did you get her on board?
I mean, we really struggled with casting that character initially, because I'd written it to be somebody in their late 40s, early 50s. And once we cast Maisy, we were like, who looks the most like Maisy? And we're doing all these side-by-side photos. And it was hard to find the right energy match, though, that like set the tone for the movie. And Aubrey's name came up in conversation. She wasn't even 40 yet. She doesn't look anything like Maisy. But we were like, oh, we want to see her on that log. We want them to be having a conversation. There was just such a chemistry, like an energy between them that was so undeniable, that we sort of wrote in these jokes about how they don't look alike, and we were like, it's part of the buy-in, it's part of the journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the chemistry was more important than the physical match.
Absolutely.
Truly.
Yeah.
And how was that chemistry? What was it like acting alongside someone who's playing an older version of your character?
Well, it was actually an interesting situation, because I was already filming for 2 weeks when she was like officially attached. So I think that the process would have been different if we were both cast before we started filming.
More time,
yeah, and if we had more time to kind of like figure out. I feel like it was more like just a weird, like in a normal situation, obviously I would be matching Aubrey, but because I was already filming, she kind of had to match me a little bit more. But I don't know, playing the same character, I think we didn't obsess over the wrong things, and we kept it pretty natural and didn't put too much pressure on it, and really just were open to each other and played a lot. Like we really just let it be this fun thing. And I think me and Aubrey were both also very like moved generally by the concept, and it is kind of a therapeutic thing to be like speaking to your older self and her to be speaking to her younger self. And yeah, I don't know, I think we just tried to like feel it and yeah.
It worked. Oh my God. Can we talk about the fact that you're both originally from Ontario? So it must have been very,
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It must have been really interesting to shoot in Muskoka. This is on a cranberry farm, no less. It's beautiful. So how did the Canadian backdrop sort of add to the overall experience? Or maybe nostalgia?
Oh my God, so like where we were played such a big part in the movie itself, the way that it looks. And also for like our eyes were actually seeing all of these things. Like it was so beautiful, and Megan jet skied to work every day, and it was like just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was so perfect.
Well, before we let you go, we'd love to play a rapid fire game with you when it comes to the advice you would give your younger selves. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
First up, what would you tell yourself if you were younger about high school bullies?
High school bullies. Ugh.
Oh, I know. My mom used to say this to me, you don't want to peak in high school.
Oh,
Really good. Really
love
good.
it. Nice. Yes.
Okay. We'll go to the next one. Eyebrow maintenance.
No, don't pluck your eyebrows.
Don't touch them.
Don't touch them. Okay,
them.
Faith, what about your first job?
I mean, I was 8
You were
when I
8 years old. That's not normal, is what you should tell yourself.
Yeah, you're not doing a normal thing.
Okay, skinny jeans.
Ooh.
There was a time.
There was a time. I would say probably not for me personally. I don't necessarily have the figure for that, but no, I'm good without skinny jeans.
I would say, yeah, it was a moment. I don't have any hate towards skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Embrace it for the time.
Embrace it,
Then
yeah.
maybe move on.
Then
All
maybe
right.
move on. Yeah.
Maisy and Megan, thank you so much in talking about life and skinny jeans and all of that.
Thank you so much.
The movie is called My Old Ass, and it is in select theaters in Toronto on September 20th, and then it's going to be everywhere on September 27th. Do not miss it.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.